that shit bothers me, right? You know, even the shit he had going on with Shedeur, you know what I'm saying? And if you have a guy there that could be your franchise maker, that can change the organization, you know, and I'm not sure what was going on in his brain or why he didn't want to play him or whatever the case may be, it doesn't. But I have that. Like, to me, his resume is not good to me at all. Just being real.
Yeah.
And he gets another shot at coaching where, you know, it was guys like me and you who have great ass resumes, right? And didn't get another shot or not playing at all. Mm-hmm. So when I see shit like that, I mean, that shit had me hot.
Yeah.
So he'd definitely be one of those coaches I would not ever want to play for. Ever.
Man, I would say.
Ooh, don't want to get that copyright. But if you don't know who this is, I didn't know this. He is a prior Cleveland Brown player. Matter of fact, after this, I'm going to be looking up his stats. But this is his opinion on Cleveland Brown. See, when they thought that we came over there supporting Shedeur Sanders, we was hating on Kevin Stefanski for no reason. They said, oh, they just coming over here. Basically, they don't say we done ran off Kevin Stefanski, made us lose his job. Oh, we finna put Todd Monken in the same situation. What? This is an ex-player talking. Let's keep going.
I would say, you know what? I would say, like, being in Cleveland and playing there, you know, he was cool to be around. It's like you say, it just almost felt like, you know, as much as he knew what he was doing, right, he really maybe did, right? And
did you hear what he said? He said, even though it seemed like he know what he was doing, yes, Kevin Stefanski, we finna make his name ring out in the atmosphere in the universe tonight. This ex-player said it seemed like he knew what he was doing, but he really didn't. Now, Cam Newton went over Kevin Stefanski's resume, y'all. And if you didn't know, let me go ahead and give you a little snippet. The only team that Kevin Stefanski was ever associated with was the Minnesota Vikings. He started out as the tight end coach. Then he went to I think it was the quarterback coach, and then the running back coach, okay? Now, what position coach have you ever heard of leaving or being a position coach and automatically becoming a head coach? Yo, he didn't even have OC or assistant head coach experience. Kevin Stefanski, and they call Shedeur Sanders the Nepo baby? What? Shedeur Sanders put in that work. Shedeur Sanders got the talent. Shedeur Sanders got the accolade. Only thing that Kevin Stefanski has is that last name of Stefanski. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Nope. Let's keep going.
Like sometimes, you know, some of these coaches or most of these coaches get put in a position too soon, right? True. You know, they have success as a position coach, right? And then they get thrown into this head coaching role where, you know, you expect most of these coaches that's younger to be more personable, right? More relatable with their players. And in most cases, it just doesn't work out that way, right? And I know, like, my time in Cleveland, especially in the beginning, man, it was great. Like, he didn't win the coach of the year, you know, we ended up going to the playoffs. And then
remember that, because what I'm about to show you next, remember everybody saying Kevin Stefanski is the two-time coach of the year. How is that possible? When you look at his resume, he started as a tight end coach. He started out as quarterback coach. Maybe. Then he started as and broke it down on November 19 on Board 1. That same, I almost said something on my live. And guess who Kevin Stefanski's mentor was? The same one that went over there at the University of Colorado, Pat Schumer, that went over there and destroyed Deion Sanders' stats team and everybody. He got kicked to the curb a little too late. But hold on, let's keep going. But keep that in mind. Two-time coach of the year, hold on.
For some reason, didn't happen, bro. It just kind of felt like, you know, the spark between the connection between the play coaches just kind of started to dim out, right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he'd be a great coach in the league, right? But I do think he knows a lot about offense, right?
What I'm about to pull up, I'm not giving Kevin Stefanski nothing. No accolades regarding offensive. Hold on.
I don't know how she is in the analytical side of things, but I know in Cleveland that was
Hold on, Vestas. Got to put my power up here. I got too excited. 1 second. Kevin Stefanski, not analytical.
I think, you know, he I don't know how much he is involved into the analytical side of things, but I know in Cleveland that was a huge part. So, you know, he's a coach of the year. I think he's two-time coach of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, Atlanta will be another good indicator about, you know, where his, you know, coaching career is headed, you know, because that team as well is.
Look, Kevin Stefanski about to stand on his own. Yo, everybody's about to see through Kevin Stefanski's mask. Oh, everybody about to see Kevin Stefanski just out there in the open, right? That's what we thought, Vestas. That's what we thought. Now, you know, my theory is that Emmanuel Acho is the one that got Kevin Stefanski hired in Atlanta. I'm going to say allegedly, but I already put the pieces together in another video. But Vestas, I'm thinking this year right here, I'm like, Kevin Stefanski out there on his own. Okay, he pulled Tommy Reese there. Okay, that's a crutch. But y'all, guess who Kevin Stefanski's biggest crutch that he's gonna lean on in Atlanta? Let me go ahead and take this off the screen. Tony Talks Vested Up. What you talking about tonight? This is who I'm talking about, Vestas. Oh, I asked one question. I woke up with this epiphany. I said, well, hold on. They love saying that Kevin Stefanski is two-time coach of the year. But we saw what he did last year with Shedeur. The year before that, we know that his winning records is 4.466. I'm like, well, how did Kevin Stefanski even get that winning record of 11-6 with Joe Flacco? I said, well, Joe Flacco is a veteran. You know, I'm waking up with all this on my mind. I said, but hold on. Let me see who the OC was at those 2 times. And possibly the 2 years that he won OC. What is his name? Tony Talks Vested Up. His name is, his name is Alex Van Pelt. I'm going to say Pelt, okay? Oh, I tore it up, but you know who I'm talking about. I said, oh, this is the OC that Kevin Stefanski had in Cleveland when they were winning, right? Because as you see, this player said he's not very analytical, okay? I said, well, let me find out where he is in 2026. Where was he at 2025? I'm thinking this man retired. Guess who Kevin Stefanski brought in? Not about 11 days. No, Kevin Stefanski was hired January the 17th. Guess who Kevin Stefanski brought into the Atlanta Falcons as the QB coach this year? The same Alex Van Pelt. PLT. I said, oh, Kevin Stefanski is slick. Kevin Stefanski know that he don't know how to call plays. You know why? Because his play calling duties got skipped twice. Twice. I said, oh, Kevin Stefanski, I'll pull a rabbit out the hat for 2026. So you got Tommy Reese as the OC. Yeah. And then Kevin Stefanski went back and grabbed Alex Van Pelt to come to the Atlanta Falcons with him. If you can't read the slide, let me go ahead and put it on the screen. Ooh, Kevin pull that rabbit out the hat. Let's see here. Come on, Scream Yard. Come on with it. Ooh, the Atlanta Falcons hired Alex Van Pelt as a quarterback coach in January 2026, reuniting him with head coach Kevin Stefanski following his stint as the New England Patriots offensive coordinator. Hold on, investors. Hold on, investors. Kevin Stefanski may be a horrible coach, but he ain't dumb. What? Let's keep reading. Specific financial terms of Van Pelt's contract with the Falcons have not been publicly disclosed. Do you know that the Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan's Arthur Blank down wrote this man, the biggest check ever in history, and they ain't gonna tell nobody. See, Kevin Stefanski, he's walking in Atlanta like he's coming in with all this bravado and he's head coach of the year. No. It's the weapon behind him that if Atlanta is going to win this year, it's because of Alex, the one that got him coach of the year twice, hypothetically, right? I ain't looked at the dates, but let's just keep going. The role in Atlanta is going to be the quarterback coach. Previous experience served as an offensive coach for the New England Patriots. Okay, 2024, the Cleveland Browns. 2020, the 2023, and the senior offensive assistants of the Rams last year. Hold on. So he was at the Patriots in 2024. Hold on, the Rams almost made it to the Super Bowl. Oh, this man is still doing his job. Oh, Kevin Stefanski ain't slow. And they haven't disclosed his contract yet. That man probably got a blank check in Atlanta. That's why Kevin Stefanski really isn't nervous in Atlanta, because he know he don't pull the big gun behind him. We just missed the piece. But not on March the 19th. Oh no. Alex. Oh, Kevin Stefanski ain't said nothing about Alex. Now, I don't watch the Atlanta Falcons media, talking heads, pundits, but I never heard this man's name came up. And now, okay, they just pulled Tua over. Okay, this man seemed like he got some good coaching skills as a quarterback. Then, let me see here. But see, believe it or not, y'all, I'm just gonna put it out there. Even though his role in Atlanta, and I could be pushing investors, his role is a quarterback coach. But in all the other places, he's been an offensive coordinator, even with the Clevelands, even with the Patriots, even with the Rams. I think here, he's just a placeholder because Kevin Stefanski, he needed somebody that he's comfortable with, which was Tommy Rees. Remember when Tommy Rees got hired in Atlanta, the Rams was still in the playoffs. So Kevin Stefanski, he couldn't pull this big gun under his shield at that time because Alex was still in the playoffs. So he said, okay, let me get an insurance policy who's going to be my offensive coordinator, and then I'm going to talk to Alex after the fact. So Alex, believe it or not, he's not there as the quarterback coach. No, Alex is going to be the offensive coordinator behind the scenes. He's just going to have the talent of the title as quarterback coach. But no, Tommy Rees, right? I can see them switching it, right? Tommy Rees may be the face that says offensive coordinator, but Alex is going to be the true offensive coordinator. They doing magic in Atlanta. Hold on. Okay. Context. He's hired to develop rookie quarterback Michael Penix and bring in veteran experience as the offensive staff. Okay, I give him that. That I do believe, but quarterback role, Let me take a break. Let me go to the comments. Because I want to see if y'all following what I'm putting down before I move forward. Okay. Atlanta. What's up? Oh. Okay. All right. I hope you're coming in here with some decencies tonight, because you will. You already know what happened last time. When Atlanta wins the NFC North South, all of these Shedeur cities. Okay, cheerleader. I ain't never been a cheerleader in my life. Never. I have been a warrior and I've been a soldier, but I ain't never been no cheerleader. This is absolutely come on with it. They are preparing to do the same thing in Atlanta. Only because take it right away. Well, we shall see. We got Todd Monken in the house this year. And please, if you don't know Todd Monken's resume, I suggest before the draft, you go ahead and do your own research on Todd Monken, okay? He ain't dumb. He ain't dumb. Leader, he ain't dumb. Oh, you. Make sure you go ahead and do your research. You make sure you get your notes, your drink, and your vest. Because once you see Todd Monken resume, you'll be like, oh, okay. Motivated. Falcons going to be playoffs. Kevin Stefanski taking it. Listen. I will say this. A lot of people were saying that Kevin Stefanski will walk in a better situation with the Cleveland Browns because of the weapons, right? The only weapon that Kevin Stefanski is really out of right now, has been confirmed, is the quarterback situation. Michael Penix is still recovering. They brought in Tua. And I need to go back and look at how Atlanta Falcons line was graded last year, because they was almost a 50-50 team. So I'm not going to give that. But we also got to remember, Kevin Stefanski is not that coach. Kevin Stefanski has already said he's not calling plays. We already know why. Alex is in the building. With that being said, I still need to go back and see what that O-line grade was last year, because Raheem Robinson still gave them almost a 50-50 year, okay? Here we go. Name another coach. Now you name another coach. What about Dylan? Ain't no word on Dylan yet. What's up, 420? What's up, 420? Please don't feed me up. Right. They could get anybody they want, the devil. They get the devil win, not win. No, you're right. Nothing wrong with that, Coach Kevin coaching staff got to win now. You're right. That's true. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people were looking at Tommy Rees and Kevin Stefanski to get Atlanta up to where they need to be this year. All I'm doing is highlighting that Kevin Stefanski has a piece in the offensive coach staff that may take him over that threshold. So I'm not giving Kevin Stefanski no credit. I'm giving him credit if they get over that hump, right? That what's his name? Raheem Morris couldn't get over. I'm going to give credit all to Alex. I didn't know that Kevin Stefanski had Alex. He went back and got Alex to help him in Atlanta. It's called the Magic. You're right. They pulling magic. Let's see here. All right. I think I got everybody. All right. So let's keep going. Now, what else did I find out about old Alex? Let's see here. Oh, so Kevin Stefanski got hired January the 17th. Alex Van Pelt was hired as the quarterback coach for the Atlanta Falcons, with the team announcing the move on January the 31st. Okay. Previously, he served as the senior offensive coordinator, assistant for the Los Angeles Rams in 2025. Following his stint from this is all we talked about. Okay. Look at the last sentence. He joins the Falcons staff to work with head coach Kevin Stefanski, with whom he previously worked with in Cleveland. That is when they had the most success. Well, Tony Talks Vested Up. All right, we see that piece. So, as Jarvis Landry just said, Kevin Stefanski is not analytical at all. He said he may give him some credit. No, he did give him some credit for being an offensive coach. I'm not going to say a genius, but he gave him some credit as being an offensive coach. Well, Alex left in 2023. 2024, they sucked. Well, hold on. So why in 2025 they had success? Because Alex wasn't there. Kevin Stefanski was calling plays. Tommy Rees was calling plays. But hold on. What was the difference? We already know what that difference was, Vestas. Hold on. Let's see here. Motivated. I've been a Falcons fan also my life. I'm from Georgia. And welcome 420. Raheem was terrible. Hey, he had a better winning record than Kevin Stefanski. And he was only there for 2 years and still had a better winning record than Kevin Stefanski. Donna C. Tanking with Tua. Kevin getting ready to be embarrassed by Atlanta. Well, with Alex, we need to actually see. Alex has a pretty good resume. Alex, based off the resume, pretty good resume. That's Kevin Stefanski hidden weapon, believe it or not. Because everybody's talking about Tommy Rees as the OC. Nobody's not even looking at who the quarterback coach is. But they're going to flip positions. They're going to flip positions on paper, okay? Well, behind the scenes, they're going to flip positions on behind the scenes. On paper, quarterback coach, offensive coach, but behind the scenes, Alex will be doing all the work, okay? Tua going to throw for... That's possible. I'm not going to take nothing away from Tua. I just don't want him to get hurt. That part, you think the city talking. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so I've been doing some more thinking, right, Vestas? As you know, I'm a thinker. So Alex left 2023. 2024, they suck. 2025, Shedeur Sanders comes in. Okay. But they still had a pretty good winning record. And I think what they averaged maybe 17 points or less from what? I'm going to say 2024. Well, I'll give it 2024, right? And so remember in the beginning of the year last year, everybody was wondering what quarterback or what game the Cleveland Browns was going to be over to get over 17 points. And we know the first game that was with Shedeur Sanders, the first pre-game season against the Carolina Panthers, was the 30 or 32. Well, after that, I don't think it was another game until Shedeur Sanders got back in with the Raiders and so forth, right? But, and remember, yeah, I'm going to go back to it. Remember, let me take this off the thing so far. They kept saying that Shedeur Sanders was going in every morning, talking to Kevin Stefanski. You know, they said the word in the building was he couldn't read defense. You know, the word and the word was coming out that, oh, Shedeur Sanders needed a coaching before practice, after practice, in practice. Shedeur Sanders every morning, being the first one in the building, the last one out the building. And I said, okay, maybe at that time, Shedeur Sanders was trying to get in Kevin Stefanski graces, right, Vestas? But now, based on what Jarvis said today, and now I know how Alex Van Pelt played in Kevin Stefanski's, let's say, arsenal, right? You know what Shedeur Sanders was doing those mornings that he was going in? Because there was no gap between Alex and Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders was going in helping Kevin Stefanski read defenses. Shedeur Sanders was going in helping Kevin Stefanski probably come up with some potential plays. Shedeur Sanders, I truly believe Shedeur Sanders was the one going in helping Kevin Stefanski come up with potential plays. Y'all think I'm playing and y'all think, no, not over here. But the people that don't know me and my content, they may think I'm going overboard tonight.